Gandalf skin because, hey, look at that.
Wait, are you really
Dumb
Gandalf?
Batman.
You can't be Gandalf skin for our Batman.
Well, okay, fine.
You change your skin. We do this right. This is our first time trying something like this.
Well, so then I will have to use this one.
The Batman. There should be. I think that's fine. Yes, because the is the kind of squashed. You know what? Let's just make that right. We got time. If Belle's got time to switch into.
Okay, how's this? Is this fine?
I'm not gonna lie. It's better. It's definitely better.
Look, it's either this, Dr. Manhattan, or Gandalf. Choose. Or just my regular skin.
Yeah, this works fine. I mean, I would have definitely accepted your regular skin, but I will definitely accept you in this. I will accept you however I can get you.
Hey, how do I just go back to my normal?
No, you can be Belshack. After all, you need to night after night you find yourself to be a creature of the night. And he did. There was some Rorschaching in this film.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how to get back to my original skin, honestly.
Well, that's okay. Do you not? You just don't have it shaved anymore?
I mean, this is like, that's not my current character.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to break your RP, man. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. It's a cardinal rule. We don't break people's RP on Batcraft.
What?
Except when I do that for Dr. Alien, and I apologize. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, there we go. This is it. Okay, yeah. This is what I want. Okay. No. Go here. Do this. Switching to character creator. This is okay. Cool. Yes. Use this.
Y'all remember what he looks like now, okay? That's what he looks like now. All right. I'll get a little trapdoor. Okay. Yeah. And
you're doing something to me.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Just let me know once you change your skin, and then we'll reveal you.
I'm just trying to figure out why this won't return me to my original character skin. Can I save this?
Do you need to log out and log back in?
Oh, I don't know.
See, look at this. Will is here. He's not even part of the podcast, and he is already more decked out than you.
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm buried, so.
All right, you ready? Oh, well, I was gonna press a.
Hey, what?
You messed up my bit. You messed up my bit. How dare you?
It's cool.
It didn't work. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right. Well, we're gonna go with Belshack then.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool. All right, stand with me here. Give me a little face profile looking over at the thing. All right. And I love that this is happening at night. We are the night. We are vengeance.
We are the Batman.
Yeah, let me
I'm kind of hold on. I got something.
Okay, all right. You got a little something?
Okay.
Well, hang on. Now I want to give little shroom lights to it too. We gotta give a little lighting, you know. Hang on. Yep, do. Oop, nope. Shaboom. I don't know why I'm a scat man stuck in my head, and I'm trying to turn it into I'm a Batman, but it's just what's happening right now.
I mean, it works.
It does. You know, although now I'm thinking I probably should have done it from behind. You know, it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, this one works.
Are you looking for, what are you doing? Skins more?
Yeah. Leave me alone. I'm making skins.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? It's not get more. It's I'm so bad at video games, man.
I know. You used to be like the master too.
Well, I just don't get a lot of time to play anymore.
Hey, you know what? No, you're not bad at video games, man. You're awesome. Okay? You're awesome. Thanks. Awesome.
What does this button do?
If we hover right here.
No, cancel.
And then we look awesome. We got a stupid cow next to us. Get out of here.
Choose new skin. That's what I want to do.
There we go. Yeah. Wish there was a way to turn off the animals in this?
All right, I think this is more appropriate.
Oh, that is way more appropriate. See, look at you. Look at you. How much did that cost you?
It was free on the internet. So
Well, there
I probably
you
have
go.
a virus now.
See, there you
Have
go.
some dirt.
All right, thank
It's
you.
justice.
All right, Justice.
Sorry, vengeance.
Yeah, I was about to say, Vengeance. Stand on your block, and then we'll hover a bit. Yep. And then we'll boom. Now we're all. That's too much. That's way
I
too.
can't stop. I can't stop.
Ah.
You know what? You know what? If you come up here this high
Yeah.
and you look down at the light pattern, it kind of looks like a bat logo.
Is it really? Hang on. Oh, we'll see about that.
So what you do is,
Oh, look at that! It does kind of look like a bat logo.
yeah. So then you come down and you pan into it like this.
Yeah, except to me, it actually looks more like a Superman logo right now.
Yeah, that's true. So we need to be this far away, right? And then you come up like here, right? I'm going to show you how to be a cameraman. You come
Okay.
up really high. You make
Going
sure you're
up really
centered on
high.
the shot, right?
Yeah.
And you come down, and then you tilt your mouse up to keep it in the frame, and it's really shaky. Batman, dun dun dun.
Batman. I don't
Although
think I was. I don't think I work in audio, man. I'm not. I'm not meant to be a cameraman. All right, here we go.
There's also no. You can't really see the bat symbol behind. You know.
Look at this man. Look at this man. What is he? What is he? Some kind of bat person? Huh?
Should we outline it?
If I do that, does it pop a little bit more? Not really. Not in the slightest, actually.
I mean, do we want to like?
Well, here. No, I tried. Oh, okay. Well, that gives it a
Maybe
little
just
bit of a
like-
crest, actually. Yeah.
Just
Okay. Yep. I see it. You see it. You'll see it. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's something ish. It pops.
Ish. It pops.
All right. We ready? We ready for our
I just
intro? We ready for our grand intro? Finally.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Wait. No, I'm too high.
Yep. There you go. And then there we go. Boom. Welcome to Batman. No, wait. What are we doing? Welcome to Panel to Screen. I'm Bo.
And I'm Justice. Vengeance. Dang it, it's vengeance.
You messed up.
Let's take that one from the top, Hal.
I want to do it. I want to leave it as is. We'll do one. We'll do one fresh. Welcome to Panel to Screen. I'm Bo.
And I'm just. God. What is going on? What is going on? Why?
He's Bell. He's Bell. He's Bell. That's Bell. Oh man.
No, I'm Vengeance.
All right, Vengeance. All right, Mr. Vengeance. We're also
we can't
known
do
as
shit.
Bell at Ring That Bell on Twitter. Yeah, and we're doing something very different today. So if the audio sounds a little bit weird or a little bit different, we're trying something new. Longtime listeners, or even short time, more accurately, listeners know that we have been doing kind of some fun Minecrafty stuff. We have been for the past year. We had Flashcraft, and very recently we switched over to Batcraft, as we have been working on, or at least theoretically working on various Batman-inspired and Gotham City-inspired builds. And so we thought, you know what, with the Batman coming out, what if we have a little fun? We're doing a bit of a live stream. So we're live streaming kind of Minecraft. We're coming up with some different ideas visually while we're going to be talking about our movie review of The Batman. And yeah, so it's experimental. It's different. It might be weird and it might be awesome. We just won't know until we're done. Isn't that right, Bell?
Yes.
Or do I need to call you Vengeance? Is that what this is going to be?
My name is Vengeance. Vengeance. I can't believe I messed that up twice. I'm just so used to Justice being, associated, with Batman, I guess.
Well, that's
or
like
maybe I'm just.
That's a big theme of this movie, really, right? Like, it's him trying to figure out who he is, and kind of almost like, they call him Vengeance so much in the movie that it's almost like, is he trying to brand himself as Vengeance instead of Batman?
Yeah, like a tabloid named him the Batman, and he's like, I don't like that. I'm Vengeance.
This is a V on top of my head. These aren't little bat ears. They're a V.
Yeah, it's a V for Vengeance.
Oh man! All right, so let's get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way here. So you and I, for the Minecraft portion of this part won't be in the podcast, but we are going to be working on some different concepts for Batcraft. And so I thought maybe we'd try to work on a Batmobile. You work on a Batmobile, I'll work on a Batmobile. And yeah, there's no judgment. This is all just kind of creative and kind of seeing what we come up with.
Okay, that works. I was gonna build a Bat computer. I have an idea for one.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I'll work on vehicles. You work on a Bat computer.
All right, that works.
All right, sounds good. We just need to stay on this side of the Batman side.
So we build it in front of it?
Oh, yeah, we just build it, yes,
like
out here
facing
somewhere.
which direction?
Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
Oh, you know what I could do?
What could you do?
Do some forced perspective to make it look like the Batman is in the computer monitor.
Well, that's cool. Although I was going to put my vehicles kind of in here as well. Is that okay?
Hey, your vehicles will be in there as well. I'll have to get really far away to make it work. So, but yeah, this is going to be cool.
All right. We'll see what we come up with. All right, man. The Batman. When this movie was first introduced, and we were told that Twilight Kid was going to be Bruce Wayne, what were your initial thoughts?
First off, he's not Twilight Kid. He's Robert Pattinson, and he's really good.
Okay.
And everything that's not Twilight.
Okay, all right, fine. But like name, and I mean, I know that's true. Like I know this with my head, but tell me something that he's good in beyond Twilight.
High Life. It's an indie film. It's on Amazon.
That is the short film as produced and funded by Miller High Life.
No.
No. Okay. Not that.
Probably not. So yeah, he's good in High Life. He's good in The Lighthouse. Those are the two that I've seen him in most recently. I mean, he's actually decent in the Harry Potter movie that he's in. You know,
that's right. He was in a Harry Potter movie. Wait, that's right. He was like the kid that spoilers for Harry Potter. Didn't he die at the end of the Goblet of Fire?
Yeah, he was killed by old Voldemort.
Yeah, that's the one where the dad's like, my son! That guy.
Yeah. That guy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Okay, this is...
Yeah, you take that back immediately.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I mean, like...
You should.
All right, but my point is that when you think... I'll put it this way. When you thought of him before this movie, you weren't exactly thinking like... a man tank. You know what I mean? Like not somebody who's going to be roaming around the streets of Gotham dealing out justice or vengeance and like brutally destroying people.
Yeah, not really. I mean, like he's not like, Christian Bale size, right? Like he's not a big dude like that. And so it was an interesting choice, I think.
Well, and that seems to be a theme with like Batman in general, right? Like, cause I feel like almost every single time that we have been introduced to a Batman in our generation, like the general consensus of the internet is like, why on earth are you choosing this person? Like why, like Christian Bale was a very controversial choice at the time. Ben Affleck, very controversial choice at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we've always been pro Batfleck though.
You and I have, this is true, but it took the internet a while to get there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was excited about it about Affleck, because Affleck was the bomb in Phantom.
Well,
so
this is known.
Yeah, I had to fit that one in there somewhere.
Yeah, no, you always got to fit it in there. And you know what? Twilight McGillicuddy, Harry Potter was the bomb in Harry Potter,
and in The Lighthouse and in High Life.
Okay, all right. He was the bomb in High Life. And you know what? He was the bomb in Batman too, man, because this movie, I mean, I don't want to give it away, but I'll just go ahead and give it away. This is the most fantastic. Okay, you know what? Let me not oversell it. Going into this movie, despite, beyond the kind of casting choices that may or may not have had people excited, it is safe to say that it was some controversial choices. Just really more specifically with him. Everybody else in this cast, I don't think drew too much of a raised eyebrow, except for Colin Farrell. Now, this is interesting, Bell, because they tell me that Colin Farrell was in this movie, but I didn't see him. Did you see Colin Farrell in this movie?
There was one moment where I was like, oh, because I knew he was in it, and I knew he was playing the Penguin, but I kept forgetting that over and over and over again until like there's one scene in the car chase where he looks, the camera is like hanging out the back driver's side window basically, and it's looking towards him, and he looks over his shoulder, and you can right there you can kind of see that it's him. But like,
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it, man, because I did not see him in this movie. Like,
really,
dude, come on! I have gone back and forth with like screenshots of, you know, Colin Farrell and then the Penguin, Colin Farrell and then the Penguin. I think this is a scam. I think this is a massive Hollywood conspiracy because Colin Farrell is not in this movie.
I think it's a great showcase of Colin Farrell's abilities. Like, you know, nobody really thinks of him as like, you know, the greatest actor of all time. I don't think.
No, well, I mean, he's not the greatest actor of all time. No. But I mean, he's not exactly like.
He's not bad.
He's not Nicolas Cage. Like he's not like.
Hey, Nicolas Cage is a gem.
Right, no, I'm not bashing Nicolas Cage. I'm just saying that he can be a polarizing actor. Like his acting choices can be polarizing, right?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So
we don't have the glass pack on this one that makes glass transparent.
Oh, yep. Sorry, we're dealing with vanilla.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that, you know, I don't know. Are we looking at a Oscar level performance? Like, are we looking at a potential Oscar win for Colin Farrell, or at least a nomination here?
I don't know about that. I know I feel for certain an Oscar nomination for makeup. Like, absolutely.
Right. Would that be makeup or I guess costume design or something? Because like incredible. Like the thing that the closest thing I can connect it to, and it's interesting because it's a Batman reference, is when Christian Bale played Dick Cheney.
Yeah. Except for that's the thing is even Bale's Dick Cheney looked more like Bale than you know. I didn't get lost thinking where is you know, where's Colin Farrell or where's Christian Bale? Like you could still see it was Christian Bale the whole time.
Yeah.
But with Farrell, like I got lost in his performance. I got lost in the makeup. It was all pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look in, you know, especially like in the eyes, and I mean, honestly, dear listener, if you've never seen this, just Google Christian Bale, Dick Cheney, and at first you won't believe it. it's very, but you can still kind of see Bale in the eyes. And even, I'm telling you, man, I know I'm spending a little bit too much time on this, but I still think it is one of the most, in a fairly, like, incredible movie all the way around, one of the most incredible things is how Colin Farrell became this Penguin. And I mean, again, you're right. It is really, the makeup and the costume is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But I mean, I thought his performance was really good too, and I love the fact that we were.
His performance was great. Yeah,
and I love the fact that we were seeing a Penguin that was, you know, kind of in an early stage of his career, just as a low, not a low tier, but like a middleman in the mafia.
Yeah. He was definitely like not the big shot gangster, you know, like you normally see Penguin as. Right. Because this is very much a year one kind, or not even year two. I guess it was a year three sort of story.
Year two. In fact, actually, at the beginning of the movie, they actually had his little journal pop out that said very specifically this was a year two movie, or year two in his Batman career.
I just assumed because they mentioned, you know, he's been at this for 2 years. I thought that meant this was like he was going into his third year. I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong.
It's like my daughter right now is very adamant about the fact that like you should be, if you're going into your third year, then you should be considered 3 years old as opposed to completing your third year. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Definitely 2 year. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the case. But anyway, regardless, I'm excited to see how they progress from this point on. I think it was wise to go with a year two, specifically because, you know, we already got Batman Year One with Batman Begins. That was very much a year one Batman story, more so than anything that had come before, even with the origin, you know, story that we had gotten in previous. And I guess I'm thinking specifically in the kind of the Keaton Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so having having that combination of just the early on into the Bat's career, so that, you know, we don't have to rehash what we already know. We're seeing a Batman who's maybe not nearly as seasoned as Affleck's Batman, but someone who is established enough so that he can show up on a crime scene, but not established enough so that when he does show up on the crime scene, everybody's like, what is the freak in the bat costume doing here? Like,
yeah, people are still like, I don't know about this guy. Because Gordon was like the only guy that, the only person on the police force that like really sort of trusted him.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I love that too. Like the fact that like, all the cops just like relating to him. And it felt like this as like a freak walked in, like this is a grown man in a bat costume. Like that was felt. And I think the way in which they kind of established that was done really, really well and added to the realism. This movie may be more real or more like a more realistic take on the Batman than Dark Knight.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right? I mean, I'm just trying to kind of look at it like the Dark Knight, and the base jumping, I think, is really what puts it over the edge here. Because, yes, theoretically, the way that the kind of memory cloth thing worked was okay, fine. Yeah. It was kind of a nice explanation for why a cape in the modern context. But at the same time, when we actually see him bust out what are those gliding suit things that people do that base jumping with?
Wingsuits.
Yeah, like when he actually turns into a wingsuit, he doesn't have that kind of bat kind of floating down aesthetic, but at the same time, it was real. Like it was like, okay, no, somebody could do that.
That's something that somebody could actually do.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. Like correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there was anything in this movie that felt like it wasn't real, with the one exception maybe being the flooding of Gotham City and physics. But other than that,
I mean, like, if a seawall bursts like that, I mean, it depends on how, like for example, if the dams in, the Netherlands failed, that would flood those cities horribly. You'd be in a real bad spot there. So, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's, plus, I mean, look at Katrina, right? Like we saw devastation on that scale, in our own world,
That's a good point. I guess I wasn't thinking that Gotham was in Louisiana.
Well, I mean, a low-lying coastal area.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, fair point. That's definitely a fair point. And I love what all that sets up, but we'll kind of get into that in the future. Okay. Catwoman, Lenny Kravitz's
Zoe
daughter.
Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. Thank you. Fun fact, not the first time that she's portrayed the character.
She has played Catwoman before?
She played Catwoman in Lego Batman.
Did she really?
Yeah. How crazy is that?
I had no idea. That's insane.
I know. Yeah. I was shocked to read that because I was trying to kind of in pre-prep, kind of going back and looking over some of these people and what their what their background was in terms of what they've done before. And yeah, when I saw that she was actually listed as having done the meow meow, here it is, meow meow. Like if you go back and watch Lego Batman, she says nothing. Like there's basically nothing that Catwoman does other than saying like, here it is, meow meow. Oh no, meow meow. Like she just says meow meow after everything.
That's ridiculous.
So I gotta wonder if that was if she got the part from her incredible meow meows.
Oh, I mean, of course. Like, how else? It wouldn't make sense any other way.
All right, her Catwoman though, what'd you think?
I liked it. Still had the same kind of like cat burglar aesthetic and whatnot that they're going with, and that she likes cats. That was definitely one that was that was in there.
Yes, she does like the cats. This is true. She also
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say she likes the bats as well, but she certainly likes the cats. It's very
and that's more of a recent kind of thing, isn't it? The whole Catwoman and Batman sort of being an item.
No, that is a long time, my friend.
I mean, I guess probably. I don't know. I know in the comics, didn't they get married recently or something?
Oh, you know what? I don't know if that's considered recent at this point, but yes, there was like a Batman Catwoman wedding issue. I remember
within the last several years, right?
Yeah, in the last couple of years for sure. But I do remember them really kind of becoming more of an established item. I think they've always had kind of that, will they, won't they type of dynamic. But I want to say it was actually in Hush. Now, I'm sure like legit Batman comic fans are probably shouting at us right now, but I think it was in Batman Hush that they kind of made it official.
Okay.
In a post-crisis world, I should say.
Yeah.
Because you also had alternate realities where, for example, Huntress was actually the daughter of Batman and Catwoman.
Oh, okay.
In fact, that was the case in the Birds of Prey television show.
Well, there you have it, folks. Yeah. I don't know very much about comics anymore.
Nobody said you did, Bill. It's fine.
Yeah. I've never claimed to be an authority on comics. Maybe like many years ago, but
right.
It has been a long time.
It has definitely been some time. Yeah. Okay. So, no, I thought she did a fantastic job. I like the cat burglar aesthetic as well. Could have used a little bit more cat burglaring, but perhaps, we'll see her again in a future television show. We'll talk about all the spinoff kind of rumors and confirmations and all that kind of good stuff, here near the end, but, kind of rolling through again, just real quickly with some of these characters. Okay. So we talked about Penguin. We talked about Catwoman. We talked about, the Batman himself. A character that I felt kind of didn't really get enough like highlighting and enough justice here was Alfred.
Justice.
Okay. Vengeance, Bell.
Vengeance.
Alfred, man. Like Alfred, even like when he and Bruce had like a small heart-to-heart, we didn't really see him again in the rest of the movie after that.
Yeah, which is interesting because I kind of always assumed that Alfred would play a bigger role in a year one style Batman.
Well, he typically does.
Yeah, and so the fact that he wasn't in there as much was interesting to me.
Yeah. Do you think it's more of like because I mean like they got Andy Serkis to play him, and Andy Serkis isn't exactly an unknown. You know what I mean? Like Andy Serkis got paid for about 3 scenes.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, it's not an Alfred movie; it's a Batman movie, and the movie was already nearly 3 hours long. Well, so, true, yeah. I think that's fine. That's fine in my book.
I could have, I mean, I think if there was one character that was going to have less attention on him, I to some extent, it's kind of a bold choice, but maybe it was the right choice to not focus too much on Alfred or not really give him a full arc. Like we see kind of the tension that exists in their relationship with. Alfred kind of seeing Bruce as a son, but kind of being rejected by Bruce as a father. And, even when we get that kind of what we think is about to be a sweet moment when Alfred is, wakes up in the hospital and Bruce is there. And then immediately Bruce like starts, cutting into him,
Yeah.
But that's about it. Yeah. We don't really see a resolution of any kind to.
Well, in the whole like "you're not my father" scene, like that was like I thought there was going to be a little bit more like payoff from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was surprised they didn't kind of like resolve that more.
So but, maybe this is like a setup. I mean, it's safe to say that we are definitely looking at a new franchise, a new trilogy, a new. Who knows what? I think that this is a Batman, a universe, a Gotham that has a lot of legs. They seem to know that early on. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of upcoming projects connected with this universe. And so, it's possible that when they kind of brought Andy Serkis on, it was like, look, in this movie, you're not going to do much, but just give it time. You're going to get your due.
Yeah. But I'm excited though, because like, I was excited about this Batman from the beginning. Like when I heard Robert Pattinson was going to be in there, I was like, that's awesome. I've loved all this indie stuff that he's done. And when he pours himself into a project, he does an excellent job. And so, yeah, I wasn't sure if this was going to be like a one-shot thing, kind of like they did with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, or if this was going to be an attempt at a new trilogy, like outside of the current, DCEU kind of stuff that we got going on. So I'm glad to see that. I'm glad that that this can stand alone. Like we don't have to have everything interconnected. I know Marvel kind of broke movie studio executives' brains there for a minute by, saying everything has to be an interconnected universe or we're never going to sell movie tickets ever again. Yeah. And so, it's like maybe just make
gotta get
stories.
That continuity. The kids love the continuity.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just tell good stories. And that's what people will enjoy and that's what people want to go see. So That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, fair enough. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, it's on the one hand, you kind of look at this and you're thinking like, oh, what if they connected this with Joker? And then on the other hand, you're thinking like, what if they didn't? What if they just kind of allowed Joker to be Joker and Batman to be Batman? What do we get?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I don't need to see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker face off with Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like, I don't have to see that. That's not something that I'm like dying to see. I would like to see more Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have to be in this universe, right? It could be another film with even another Batman. I don't care. Like, I'm just saying, like, comic books. There's like 50 different Batman comic books, and they're all different, and they don't always interconnect, and so they don't have to all the time. I mean,
I totally agree. And part of me actually kind of worries a little bit that because of the success that this movie is just destined to have, I'm a little worried that we might get a situation where it's like, Flashpoint ends with bringing Pattinson's Batman into the Snyderverse or the post-Snyderverse, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think we need that. I think if you're going to make, like, if you're going to, like, for example, if you take this movie as the Iron Man to a new universe, which is not even what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want that, right? I'm just saying that if that should happen, then I think what you really need is to use this movie as a jumping off point. Like, don't convolute it. Don't convolute something beautifully simple and it's complex and it's simple. It succeeds on both levels to me in the way that they establish this world. And I think that if they attempt to do something where they connect it with what's come before, it's going to become unnecessarily convoluted and almost instantly lose part of what makes it so special. I think if they were going to do something like that, then after Man of Steel, they should have had an in-credit scene where Christian Bale's Batman is in Paris or wakes up in a Paris hotel room and gets a phone call, turns on the TV, sees the devastation, and says, "Alfred, I'm coming home." You know what I mean? Like, they should have, like, if you wanted to do that then when you were doing the whole thing. But now it's like, no. Let this, whatever this ends up becoming, let it happen slow. Let it simmer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the problem that DC had, in my opinion, with their whole initial foray into the comic book movie world, is that they're like, oh, well, we're going to do it different. We're not going to do individual hero movies. We're going to do one Superman movie, and then we're going to do a team-up movie with Superman and Batman, and we're just going to see what happens, Like,
yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like, I think everybody, but I know, like, we as like a geek consumer base, we were all like, come on, DC, like, you lost this one. Why didn't you should have had this? Like, looking back now, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, they should have never done this. They're way better at this other thing. But like, we wanted it. We were kind of clamoring for it.
And like, as a comic book fan, it's like, I don't need to see another origin story. So there's another reason why I'm super glad this was like a year 2 Batman story. I don't want to see Martha Wayne and Thomas Wayne die again. Like, I'm so tired of that.
Right.
So yeah, on the one hand, it's like, okay, well, I think that's good. On the other hand, let's just make movies, I guess.
Well, and speaking of kind of not wanting to see the Waynes die again, I love how this movie kind of subverted our expectations there, right? Because like, we're introduced to a kid. It's on, he's wearing a costume. He sees his dad. He kind of kills his dad. Like kind of faux kills his dad, and then all of a sudden, and so we're sitting back. We don't know much about the movie that we're about to see. We know it's a Batman movie, so we've been trained in a Batman movie to just expect that that's Martha and Thomas Wayne, which, by the way, every single time Martha's name was mentioned, I really fought the urge in the theater to not yell out, "Why did you say that name?" It was really difficult, man. I really wanted to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's understandable, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But anyway, point is that we've been trained to think that this is about to be, the Waynes. We're about to see them killed in the street, and we're about to see Bruce standing over their bodies and holding some pearls. And like, we know what happens. We've been out to a Batman movie. We've done the Batman thing before. We know what happens. But surprise, that's not at all what's about to happen. They completely subvert our expectations by instead, like, this being not that. In fact, this is the son of the sitting mayor of Gotham City, who's up for re-election. This movie is being praised, I think, relatively universally for the fact that it is the most Gotham of any other, Batman that's come before. I think the closest, this is going to sound weird, but the closest, like, I guess the closest that any movie has come to establishing Gotham as a character is
like outside of the Shoemaker films.
Well, no, I was going to say it's the Shoemaker films. Because like...
Oh, I thought you were saying like this is the closest one since the Shoemaker films.
Well, okay, it's definitely the closest one since the Shoemaker films, but I would actually say that it's specifically Batman and Robin. Because, I mean, like, if you think about it, you had those giant Gothic statues holding up buildings and clocks, and it made no kind of sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it was, for what it was very much an iconic, a visual identity to Gotham City. It felt as though it was like toys cascaded everywhere that a child was playing with. And, it was to some extent its own character in this place and time,
Like Burton's Batman had the feel of Gotham, like, the style was there, right? Like the style was great. But as far as like the characterness of it, like that was definitely Shoemaker.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing. It was so over the top that it, for me, and I mean, I get it. It was meant for kids. And I mean, I guess we were kids when that movie came out, but I think even then it was just kind of like, it's a city of justice.
City of love.
City of love.
City for peace. Every one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we all need, I don't know the rest of the words. I'm going to stop there.
But anyway, I thought the city was great. Okay. Gordon, fresh take on Gordon. We got Bernard from Westworld showing up as our new Gordon. Loved him. He wasn't commissioner yet. I don't even think he's commissioner by the end of this movie.
I think he was a captain, maybe.
That sounds right. Not necessarily fully respected, and I guess enough by his colleagues to let him kind of do what he did. But for the most part, he's not the Gordon that we know from the comics yet.
Right. Yeah. He's kind of like an outlier, right? Because he sees this mass vigilante dude, instead of being like, "Why are you an adult dressed like a bat?" and "Why are you beating the crap out of these people?" He's like, "This guy might be able to help us."
He's like, "Oh, sick. That dude, cool costume."
Yeah.
I kind of love that we skipped right over, like, how did this happen? You know what I mean? With their relationship.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. Is everybody knows that Batman has Commissioner Gordon,
right?
So we don't need to see that.
Well,
it doesn't
we got that before, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think again we got a year one Batman. We got that in Batman Begins, how Commissioner Gordon and Batman kind of become buddy.
Yeah. And so like that's that's an issue that you don't want to see the same stuff over and over again, right? Like it's not fun.
It's not fresh.
It gets played out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need something a little bit more fresh. I thought he did a great job with it. I really liked the two of them kind of working the case. It was very much a mystery, a detective story throughout. Did you there's a lot of the puzzles that we don't have the pieces to as an audience, in the sense that, like, we can't sit there and decode. Although I'm sure like someone like you was probably looking at that piece of paper and being like, "No, freeze frame. I want to do it."
Yeah, like that, the ciphers and stuff, those are fun. It was kind of hard to follow along, I think, with the clues, not having the stuff, but I don't think that was really the intent. I'm just glad to watch Batman do it. And I'm glad that there was actually detective work in this one,
Yes.
Like that was something that I don't think we've really ever seen.
We got some of that in Dark Knight, because of course he scanned the bullet and he brought it back. He did kind of some forensics work on the bullet. You remember that?
Yeah, I mean that's not really detective work. That's forensic work.
You're saying there wasn't really a mystery per se.
Right. Like, I mean, there kind of was in, I guess the mystery is like, what is the plan of the bad guy? And which is, I guess, I don't know. What am I trying to say here? Like, they were trying to figure out what Bane was trying to do, right? There's the concrete company, and, you know, all that different stuff there. Like, but there wasn't like active detective work like there was here,
Right.
where he's going to the crime scenes. He's like, you know, finding clues, right, that the guy's leaving him. And he's trying to do stuff with that. And so like that's the kind of, you know, detective-y stuff that we've sort of missed as of late.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that this movie did a good job with it. Admittedly, there was certainly times where, you know, he did great detective work, and there was times where he got it wrong, and then there were times where he got lucky.
Yeah,
Like,
and you're always gonna find stuff like that.
no, which is fine. Like, I have no problem with it. But like at the end too, where it's like, it's a Tucker. He's like, what did you say? You know, or he didn't grab. Like, whew, great choice not to gravel his voice, by the way.
Yeah, right.
He's like, what did you say? He's like, it's a Tucker. You know, my uncle or my aunt or whoever was. My uncle's like a carpet person who cleans carpets.
Yeah, like thank goodness that dude's uncle or whatever was a carpet layer, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there was like a little bit like, that's pretty clever. That's a lucky break that you got right there.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, Batman would never know what one of those things are.
Right. Yeah.
He's rich.
Bruce Wayne ain't tucking his own carpet.
Yeah, and granted, I didn't know what it was. Like, I thought it was some weird kind of shovel. But
Bell ain't tucking his own carpet.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, like, you know, I loved the thumb drive joke. I thought that was good. Like, there was humor in the movie, but it wasn't like, you know, overdone in a way where we didn't have like quips and stuff. Of course, Batman never really quips, but you know, the way they did the humor, I thought was well done.
Well, and even with like the like you said, it's not quippy. Like the twins, I remember, were kind of like a source of light humor, but it's not like bust a gut type of humor stuff. It's like, oh, you know, remember these guys that wouldn't open the door for Batman, and then Batman came and destroyed them, but then Bruce Wayne gets to just kind of waltz in, and, you know.
Yeah, like sight gags and things like that, you know.
Exactly. And that worked. I mean, like, you know, it worked for what it was. It wasn't, this movie isn't trying to be a comedy by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Speaking of which, should we talk about the clown in the room?
Yes, we should.
Okay. So, Joker, and I realize we haven't talked about Riddler yet. I'm kind of saving him for last, but Joker, we get introduced briefly to someone who is it's fair to say, I think it's been kind of revealed at this point, is the Joker in Arkham Asylum.
I mean, it's got to be, right?
Yes. From what we saw, I saw a gash in the side of the guy's face, but what was your take, man? Like, what did you pick up from this Joker?
He looks like he's disfigured.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking that maybe, like, you know, he has some sort of disfigurement because, like, his nose looked big and weird and kind of red, and so maybe he has some kind of like birth defect, or he was disfigured in some way that made him look like a clown, which is why he adopted the Joker persona. But it's clear that he's, like, you know, been established and he's seen him before. And so that's kind of neat that there's this idea that he's already fought him before. And so we'll see some real history between them when they meet up again.
Yeah. I like that idea that perhaps Joker was his year one villain. I thought it might be interesting if, like, even that gash in his face came from Batman, from fighting, you know, Batman specifically, like maybe, you know, and he accidentally like slashed right into the side of his face or something like that. Could be kind of interesting. I am very hopeful though that they don't rush to the Joker. You know,
yeah, that's always been kind of a problem, that, like, because everybody knows who the Joker is.
What's been done, like, just like that, like you were saying before, like the Joker has been done,
and it's been done very, very well.
Right.
Like Heath Ledger's Joker is, you know, probably like everybody's favorite Joker.
Exactly. Well, that's the other thing too. I think the choice to go with a disfigured Joker at this stage in the game, too soon, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I'm not, but it's a decent representation. I mean, it makes sense story wise, I guess. To do that. So that's maybe the right thing to do. I don't know. Depending on how, because it's a birth defect versus his dad gave him scars. Like, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Is it so wrong that I like falling into a vat of acid? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's classic. I know that we're dealing with a bunch of more like realism and that sort of thing, and that's part of why the Joker works so well in The Dark Knight. But I don't know. I mean, if the rumors are to be believed, there is a chance in which we may actually see Mr. Freeze for the sequel.
That would be interesting.
I would think that would be incredible, especially with the way they finished this movie with kind of the no man's land where we're looking at a broken Gotham, one like a playground for some of these villains to rise up and be almost at war with each other. I think having, Penguin owning a section of the city, Riddler owning a section of the city, and then like Mr. Freeze coming in and owning some sort of section of the city. And then maybe at the end of it, you find out that the Joker has been kind of like playing all of the villains against each other just for his own amusement. You know what I mean?
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Like, I mean, all right, so just kind of a random pitch here is you almost kind of see some sort of like chessboard, kind of like some sort of custom chessboard or something with like a hand with a glove, like some sort of like felt glove moving pieces around and doing voiceover. And then by the time the ending of the movie comes to pass, you see that voice is actually the Joker who's been moving all these pieces around or something like that. So playing off the voiceover that we got in this movie with Pattinson's Batman coming in and being like, I'm a bat now. I don't sleep. I'm out here doing my thing because I'm a bat.
Yeah, but he's in jail though. Oh, I guess are you insinuating that like everybody's gonna break out or whatever?
He could literally be in Arkham the entire time, and he's making all this happen from Arkham. And maybe at the end of it, it ends with kind of this battle at Arkham with all of these villains, their goons fighting each other, so Batman trying to fight all of these people. And then in that kind of insanity, that's where like this massive Arkham breakout happens and the Joker comes strolling out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, the thing that kind of sucks is that, like I liked Nightfall. I don't know if a lot of people liked Nightfall, but I liked Nightfall. Yes. When Batman was broken by
Richard is Bane. Broken by Bane. Bane took him and he broke him in half.
Yeah, but like, so they just did Bane. It's like I don't think you could do a Nightfall.
No,
that's unless they change, Bane and take Bane out of the picture and have it be somebody else. That is a terrible bat symbol, but it's very low res. So what can you do?
What do you talk about? This one that Will's making over here?
No. The one that I'm putting in one of the computer monitors on my.
That's not low res. That's pretty big right there.
Yeah, no, that one's huge. But I'm liking the view out of this main computer screen here. We got the Batman, we got some vehicles, and we got a giant bat symbol.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna try to do like a little Gotham skyline here in the background and see if that adds to it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's talk about the big bad, man. So Riddler. We're kind of presented throughout this entire movie. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'll tell you what, man. Let's jump to a quick commercial break, and after we get back, we'll talk about the big bad here. We'll talk about the Riddler as well as some of the series and speculation and things that are going down. So stick with us. We'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so as I was mentioning, man, we've got the Riddler. This is the first time that the Riddler has made his way into a movie since portrayed by the infamous Jim Carrey. Which was...
Yes.
Can we actually, you know what? Before we do it, can we talk about Jim Carrey's Riddler real quick?
And how wonderful it was? Remember, the Shoemaker Batman films are Batman 69.
Yeah, but wasn't he just being like Joker, but the Riddler?
No, he was being the Riddler.
I think he was doing his take on the Joker, man.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was fine, and you're right. It was very Schumacher.
Schumacher.
Does he make the shoes or does he mock the shoes?
They're really fast, so they go Mach 1.
Okay. You took it in a whole different direction, and I love it. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. So he had he was silly and all that kind of good stuff, and it's fine for what it was. This Riddler is exactly what I wanted from a modern take on the Riddler,
Like
and
a
actually,
weird psychopath Riddler.
yeah. Well, just a hacker, just somebody who is much more like code breaker, a nerdy dude, kind of a social outcast. He even incorporated some of that over the topness that we saw in Jim Carrey's Riddler, which was an interesting choice, but one that, you know, I'm gonna allow it. I think it's fine. I think it kind of speaks to that kind of that general lack of social awareness that this character had. I loved it though. I really want to know your take on this. Like, what did you think about this take on the Riddler?
I liked it a lot. Yeah, you know, he had the social outcast feel about him. The just over the top sadisticness was interesting.
Yeah.
That was, I wasn't expecting. Well, I mean, like, he's wearing a BDSM mask. I mean, what I guess, you know, at what point do you stop expecting or you know, not expect somebody to be like a crazy psychopath person? But
yeah, I was not a fan of the mask. I'll be honest, man. That my main criticism is I'm not a fan of the mask. Yeah,
the mask was weird. I liked the tie-in where he was talking about, you know, the mask sets you free kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's a big theme in Batman, right? Where, like, you know, he's not when he's out of his mask, he's not himself. Right. That was cool. I like that.
Which, by the way, what a great choice to like keep him as Batman for pretty much the entire film.
Oh yeah, that was super awesome.
Yes,
that was mad respect. But yeah, I liked the portrayal, like the you know, to the Batman thing, like the little riddles and stuff that he left. Like that was the little the bomb on the neck, and like you're having to guess the riddles, like, you know, the audience is guessing along and stuff like that. And, you know, those kind of things were neat. It's kind of like, I don't know how you do a Riddler with him being so kind of goofy and sort of modernize it. And I think they did a good job with that.
So did you get most of the riddles, or like which, like, do you know kind of around what percentage you got versus didn't?
I'm trying to remember.
I got the justice one. I guess that was fairly obvious.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the second and third one.
The first one was the one where, you know, what does a liar do when he dies or whatever?
Oh, yeah. He lies down or lies still. Yeah.
Lies still. That one, I did not get that one.
That one. I don't think I got that one either.
The bring him into the light. I don't think we were supposed to get that one, all things considered.
Bring him in that one was weird. Like I thought, like, bring him into the light. I thought what they were going to do was take him to the bat signal and kind of like drape him over the light, like to have him arrested or whatever. Like we saw in was that Batman Begins?
Yes. No.
Yeah, I mean that.
Dark Knight. What in Dark Knight?
Was it? I think it was Batman Begins, because he didn't have a bat symbol at that point.
And so
that's right. The guy made the bat.
Yeah. That didn't come out. Yeah, you're right.
And so that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, bring him into the light. He's going to be in the light of the bat signal, and then that's going to have him do something, or have Riddler do something. So I didn't quite know what that meant. And bringing him into the light, I mean, it was a random street light outside the club. That was kind of lame.
Well, I mean, it's just like into the light where he could shoot him because he sniped him from his hotel.
Yeah, but I mean, like, well, what if he brought him? Like, what if? I mean, I guess he was planning on him being there, you know. So yeah, but I mean, like, what if he brought him into the light outside of his house, the street light in front of his house? Like, he wouldn't be set up there to kill him, you know. That one was kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, so that was the thing, right? The Riddler kind of expected Batman to be kind of almost a better detective than he was, or to be able to catch the riddles. He was almost disappointed at the end, where he's like,
"Well, he said he was."
Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of the yeah.
It's like you still didn't get it. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, even at the end, it kind of shows how disconnected he was, because he was saying that, you know, hey, we did this together. What are you talking about? Like, I led you to him, and then, you know, we killed him together. Like, this was an us thing.
Yeah, that was neat. It was also neat that he won. Like, Riddler straight up won.
Oh yeah, full on. That was, I mean, like, again, what a great choice to do that. And what does victory look like though, right? So Riddler won, and that obviously his goals were achieved, but at the same time, Batman's journey in this movie was not to catch the Riddler. Although, I mean, I guess to some extent it obviously was, and he succeeded in that way. Batman's journey was to really kind of identify what does it mean to be the Batman? What does it mean to be Gotham's savior or hero? What does it mean to actually do good? Like that opening scene where he's fighting off dudes on Halloween, and even the person he's trying to save is like, "Don't hurt me," to like jumping to the end of the movie where I think as a child that's being lifted onto the helicopter and like holds on to Batman's arm because she's scared for him to leave, for her to be taken away, and he's seen as someone she can feel safe with. I think really you see it, and what a great performance by Pattinson. You see so much in his eyes. You know what I mean? Like his face is covered, yet his eyes like just speak volumes.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, man. He's a great actor.
You're right. I'm a Pathead, or what do we? I'm a Patton son. Stan. Patton Stan? I don't know what's the appropriate phraseology here.
I don't know.
I liked his performance, and I don't know if there's a name for that, but I thought he did really, really well. I wasn't a big fan of the mask. I think it worked well enough in the sense that because they did the kind of flash mob murder squad at the very end, I found that entire scene to be just absolutely terrifying. It seemed incredibly realistic, especially in the modern context. I think that part added to really the terror of the Riddler and really kind of the terror of who he is as a villain in this world, and the inspiration he was able to kind of put behind his people. That was, I mean, yeah, I just found that entire final scene to be terrifying.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
It was just real, man. It was it's wild. Okay. So yes, that's Riddler. Let's talk about where this goes from here. Where do we go from here? So HBO has kind of announced a whole bunch of new projects for this universe. We know that there's going to be a Penguin series. Or actually, let me ask you this: Are you aware of this at all?
No, this is news to me.
Okay. Oh, this is good. Then I get some live bell reactions. I love to hear it. So we are getting a Penguin series on HBO.
Like with Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell, yeah.
Really?
This is Colin Farrell's Penguin. As I understand it, it is going to detail his kind of rise within the mafia. So it's kind of a Penguin year 1, or maybe Penguin year 0, if you will.
Interesting.
It is. We are also dealing with a potential. Now, I don't think this is confirmed. I think this is being discussed. But a potential Catwoman spinoff with Kravitz as Catwoman.
Okay.
And
these are series, right?
These are all series on HBO.
Okay.
The one that may actually be, there's two that may actually be one. One is an Arkham series, and one is a Gotham PD series. And the context is, you remember the show Gotham?
Gotham, yes.
Yes, Gotham. So that series, but HBO and in this universe.
Interesting.
Yeah, but obviously no kid Bruce Wayne. So we're actually dealing. We don't have to like have this weird. We got to tell a Batman universe with no Batman so we can't have these villains be too established or yada yada yada. And also we can't have a Joker, but we definitely have a Joker for some reason. None of that mess. We're dealing with like an established Gotham universe. We're dealing with an established GPD. They can actually go after some known villains, and they're kind of dealing with that reality.
That'll be neat.
I think I'm excited for that because I feel like Gotham the series never lived up to the promise that I think many of us were hoping for from that series.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And you've got like people like Renee Montoya and who, if I'm not mistaken, became the Question. Or became the Question at one point. And so
on Gotham?
No, not on Gotham. I wish she had become on Gotham. Would have been.
Yeah.
She was on for like a split second, and then she never came back on again.
Because I know they did a bunch of like really interesting things in Gotham towards the end. Mm-hmm. But I think I watched like part of the first season. and I don't know.
And never again.
I like Donald Logue, which is kind of why I watched it.
Yeah, I know he's good. He had some good stuff. The
Yeah.
Penguin on that show was really good. I thought the Riddler was pretty good too.
Yeah, no, they were good for sure. Yeah, mad props to them. They did a lot of good work with them. But it'll be nice to kind of see like what you can actually do when you're not hamstrung by a studio.
Right. Well,
You know?
and the other it's I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some sort of limitations that are put on it and all that kind of good stuff, but we'll see what they end up doing. I would love to see a okay, so you've got Gotham as almost a character in this movie, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that is can be fascinating is what happens when Batman's not there, because he cannot be everywhere at once. They acknowledge that at the beginning of this series as well. Is that I can't be everywhere at once, but the symbol is not just a calling, it's a warning. And, I think that there can be something very interesting in exploring what happens when Batman doesn't show up, when he's somewhere else. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think they could really get away with it in a lot of these series, because unlike this question of we call the Avengers, where are the Avengers? The Avengers should be on this. We're not dealing with world-ending situations here, Like we're probably dealing with lower life crime, or even like things being foiled before they can even become things. And, I think there's an opportunity to tell some interesting stories along the way.
Well, we almost saw that like at the beginning when he's talking about, I have to choose where I'm going to be. And they show several crimes that were in process.
Yeah.
That he didn't go get. He went to go get the guys on the train who were about to, knock out that guy.
Yeah. The dude with the weird kind of teardrop melon head looking thing.
Yeah, like that. Well, yeah, there was that guy. He robbed that convenience store. There was, wasn't there something else as well?
Well, there was the guys on the train. Well, you saw what the guys on the train were doing before they were on the train, if I'm remembering right.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Sorry, I was mistaken. But yeah, like, that is still an interesting concept to explore, right? Like, you show these crimes. You could even do it like a pseudo kind of what if scenario where it's like, if Batman had stopped this crime instead of this one, what would have happened?
Right. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We could even see somebody who's like maybe a criminal who's like really thinks they're like the stuff, and like it keeps on waiting for Batman to show up, but it's just like the cops. He's like, come on, I'm a real supervillain, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't there like I think there was a character like that in the comics. It was oh man, it was like the goat or something like that. It was like a dude that wore a goat mask and tried to do crimes, and it was kind of like, okay, you're just
a joke.
You're just a guy wearing like a goat mask. I think it'd be cool.
That's interesting.
I do hope they save though some of the bigger tier like story arcs for Batman. One of the things that I feel like we got hints to a lot of characters in this movie. Hush got a pretty major, kind of, I guess, allusion with the Elliots. Although I think they mentioned Thomas Elliot, or perhaps his father was a journalist in this as opposed to a doctor, which is what he was in the comics. That being said, I love that even when they were talking about it, they said he paid Hush money, and they put Hush right up on the thing.
And then every person every person in front of the camera just winks at the camera simultaneously.
Yeah, it's like, we know what this is. The kids don't know. Yeah. We know what this is. So I hope that we see that done in a movie context as opposed to, in like a television show context. Another big one, major one, is the Court of Owls, which I thought I feel like we got perhaps at least one allusion to the Court of Owls in this movie with, one of the clues, I think about the Waynes, when he turned it over, or maybe it was like a brief flashing over the screen, but you had like these two big yellow eyes that like appeared on like the back of a card or something like that. Do you remember this at all, or am I completely making this up?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that's the case. I want to say that's the case.
I mean, it was a 3-hour movie, and I was at Alamo, so I was eating like sometimes. So,
I was at Alamo eating, and I caught it.
Well, I get really involved in my food. Okay.
Oh, fair enough. I don't know. I feel like we got maybe perhaps a nod to the Court of Owls. I love the fact that we also talked about, we were really diving into like the depths of Gotham, and just like even the the quote unquote more heroic families are not all that heroic. Like all of these people are dirty, including the Waynes.
Yeah, including the Waynes. Like that was something we've never seen before. Thomas Wayne has always been like this hero person, and it's kind of funny in Batman v Superman when it's the same guy who played comedian, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he could have easily escaped the situation by giving the dude his wallet. Instead, he decided to fight him, and he got himself and his wife killed.
Right.
I was glad we didn't see something like that again. But like it was really neat to see. It's like they're human, right? These are human people, and they make human mistakes. And it cost them dearly, and that was something very interesting to see, and I was glad we actually got to see that.
And it cost the city dearly as well. Like I love that we really do get the sense that this is a city that's been done dirty over the years, and and I think that they did a good job of really showcasing that. Man, there's just so much in this movie. As you already mentioned, it is a 3-hour-long movie. So much happens in it. It is a slow pace. I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday who hadn't seen it yet, and I was telling her like, I went into this movie with like very little expectations, and I came out of it just really, really just blown away by it. It's absolutely incredible. It's a slow burn. I think you have to know that going into the movie. It's 3 hours, and it is a slow burn, but at the same time, it never feels like it's wasting your time. Like every single inch of this film is fascinating. And so while you're not getting like this like crazy action packed that kind of I think modern audiences have come to expect from superhero films, like it is absolutely phenomenal and worth every single minute of the movie. So here's the big question, man. Where does this movie rank? Normally we do like the out of 5. I'm assuming that we're both giving this movie 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd say 5 out of 5. I think it's one of the best interpretations of Batman that we've seen in a while. I think it was, even though it was long, it didn't feel slow, which was, it was paced. I think it was well paced. Like, I don't think there weren't parts where I was kind of like, I wish we would hurry up and get along with the story. I was involved the entire time.
Right.
And so the characters were done well. Robert Pattinson was a great Batman. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. Who played Riddler, but he was wonderful. He was perfect
who is
in the
that
role.
actually? I meant to IMDb that before we
he was also in There Will Be Blood.
Was he in The Office?
No, you're not.
No.
I don't think
I'm probably
Paul
Dano.
Paul Dano. Yes. He's wonderful. He was excellent. And
he's in Little Miss
Colin
Sunshine.
Farrell was great. Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, I think that was back when he was.
Wasn't he in There Will Be Blood?
He might have been. I've never seen that movie. He was in Cowboys and Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. He was in The Sopranos. Interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. So I have a little something special for the people who are watching.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why don't you walk up to the window?
Okay, I'm walking up to the window.
Frame the city.
Okay. The city is framed.
All right, and take a look at this. I hope this works. It might not, but we'll see. Okay, it didn't work.
What are we gonna do?
And it's supposed to be a massive fireworks display, but
oh man.
Or maybe they're just dropping the wrong direction. I don't know. Here, I'll just do this. Why won't these launch?
It's your justice all over again.
I guess.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
They're black fireworks, man. It's nighttime. Oh, hey, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
They're black and yellow fireworks.
There we go. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Right?
Yeah, it's great. No, I think it looks awesome.
Let me see. I don't know. Will this... Oh, I gotta crouch. Oh, dang it. Why do I suck at this game so bad?
Oh, man. All right, so... but yes. All right, so we're both giving it kind of a 5 out of 5 here. So the next question really is, man, what is this... where does this fall in the order of things? We don't have to like list the others, but is this number one? That's the real question. Is this the number one Batman movie of all time?
Number one Batman movie of all time? I don't know.
I mean, like Dark Knight, right, has been the gold standard.
Yeah, it really has.
So where does this rank in your mind against Dark Knight? Is this better than The Dark Knight?
I don't know. It's so different. Like, it's such a different style of story.
Is it? Is it though? I feel like it's the closest to The Dark Knight than any of the other Batman movies. And this Batman movie, the Batman like borrows from everything. It borrows from the cartoon. It borrows from the video games. It borrows from literally everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd like to see it again because I've seen Dark Knight, numerous times. This one felt more detective noir story and less action movie, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
I like, that's kind of how I always felt a Batman movie should be. It should be like noir, detective, gritty, type of story. And this one I felt nailed that. I don't know. I'll have to see it a couple more times just to
I think it does need at
that.
least one or two more viewings to really make that call. I mean, I think I walked out of it thinking like this is better than The Dark Knight. And after
Really?
like a day or so kind of processing it, I think that this world, this interpretation of Gotham, I would say is better than The Dark Knight and better than the Nolan universe. That being said, and I don't want this movie to be any faster. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this movie needs to be any faster. But the fact of the matter is, The Dark Knight does have more, like, it's more entertaining, I think, than what this movie was. And so the Dark Knight probably, like, wins out by a hair for that reason. But I need to see this movie another time or two or three to really tell.
If we judge this movie based solely on the fact that Batman doesn't kill or either actually kill or like kill via his actions or inaction, this is the only movie I think in which Batman hasn't killed someone.
Wait, who did Bale kill?
Pretty much anybody that he like shot or ran over the car with or blew something up.
What? He didn't. When did he do that? He didn't do that.
Yeah.
What you talking about, Bill?
There are moments in there where you're like, there's no way anybody in that vehicle survived, and things of that nature.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, like, there are definitely some deaths that occurred during the car chase with Penguin, but and I mean, like, some of those punches. I mean, there's no way that we know for sure that people didn't die in the hospital from concussions or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty rough.
Yeah,
it got pretty brutal there. So I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know.
I think there's less.
The Bat Tank has no rules.
Yeah, like there's less ambiguity in this one as far as like, did Batman just kill that guy? Like, there wasn't a moment like, he beat the crap out of some people.
Yeah, and
potentially there could be some long-term damage there, maybe death if they're not treated or they have like a brain bleed or something. But I feel like, for the most part, this was the least sort of like, wait, hold on, is that guy dead? Did Batman just kill that guy? Kind of moment or kind of movie.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you. I think you might have a point there. You very well may have a point. But regardless, I think it's safe to say we're both giving it about a 10 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. Was this the best Batman movie? Was The Batman the best The Batman movie? Let us know your thoughts. Hit us up on Twitter at TV Talk FM is the place to do it. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we did something different this week for this episode. We did it kind of live stream. Hopefully the audio doesn't sound terrible. I guess I'll find out after we get done recording. But
yeah, you'll probably hear a lot of my keyboard clicking, and so I'm sorry. I have a loud keyboard.
Well, we'll see. If this turned out well, maybe we'll do more things like this, because those that were able to catch it live were able to kind of hear our commentary while also seeing what we built. Belle, why don't you tell the good folks listening what we built here?
So this is a bat cave computer, right? So we got our monitor over here, which we're investigating the Riddler.
That's why you did that. I was wondering about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a monitor, right? Like, yeah. So you can see it's lower resolution. Like I wanted to put one out a little bit further to have higher resolution, but I would have had to like fill in way too much area with black in between here and there. So I just made it closer and made it smaller.
Yep.
And then we have like a bat symbol over here. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And, you got your buttons and your switches in the hole that I made in the ground trying to do that. But let's just wool. There we go.
When in doubt, wool.
Yeah, and of course you got the classic Dark Knight sea lantern ceiling that he has in his little underground bunker thing.
Of course.
So,
yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah.
And then across through your main monitor here, we've got Gotham City with the Batman that we built in a couple of different vehicles. I did try to do a Dark Knight inspired Bat tank type of car, and then just a regular Batmobile, which I'm not particularly proud of. Batwing that I am fairly proud of. And then we did a kind of a Gotham skyline. And then Will, who hopped onto the world while we were recording, gave us a giant bat symbol, which he is kind of putting the final touches on right now. So anyway, that's the kind of thing you could have caught if you caught us live on the channel. We posted it out on our Twitter feed, so be sure to follow us on Twitter. You can also check out the YouTube channel and subscribe to us there, where you will see our Batcraft Minecraft series, which has been a lot of fun. And I think now we are in bat mode like we never have been. So we got some great stuff that's headed your way soon there. But all that information and more can be found at tvtalk.fm. That's going to do it for us for this week. Until next time, we'll be back in a flash. Vengeance. Justice.
I am vengeance. Hey, I got it right that time.
Finally, you nailed it. All right.
Yeah.
The recording has stopped. Bye. There. Those of you who were able to join us on either the YouTubes or live, thank y'all so much for doing so. Let us know in the comments whether or not you thought this was cool and you want more of these, and we'll do more of these. We got a Flash episode coming out very soon, so we might have to, we'll this will be kind of our Gotham section. We'll just move over here, and we'll do maybe a Flash section, or maybe we'll keep working on bad stuff. I don't know what'll end up happening, but let us know what you think, and we'll do it. We'll do anything. Well, not anything. We'll do most things. Most things.
Yeah. I forgot to mention how much I like the Batmobile in this movie.
Yeah.
It was like a regular car that was just like souped up. It wasn't a freaking weird, like hyper tech.
Yeah, it was a muscle car, man. It was legit.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was great. What do you think of my little Batwing here? You like it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's the Keaton Batwing kind of.
Yeah, Keaton. I mean, that's the classic, right? I even gave it a little blue jet here. Been trying to put the flames in the cars and everything. If you look back on the back of the Bat tank over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have gotten the glass expansion pack.
Well, I didn't think about it. That's the easy answer. All right. Well, cool. I'm gonna end the stream. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
We'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
Bye.
I'm gonna head out as well. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.